This is Straight Talk Politics, and we're talking today, Monday, December 13th, about the Merrick Garland factor. I know it only says Merrick Garland here, but we are talking about the Merrick Garland factor. There just wasn't room in the slideshow for it, the full title. If you like this content, please press like, please share it with friends, please make comments, please subscribe, use the notify button to know when further content is coming out. Also, let me know what you like and don't like. I'd like your impact. I would like to build this into a bigger operation, but it's going to take more than just me to do that. If you're interested in joining this podcast, make a comment. I will answer you. We'll get together. We'll see if we're compatible, and we can turn this into a team. Straight Talk Politics, the 14th Amendment, Section 3, Merrick Garland. The text of the 14th Amendment, Section 3, no person shall be a senator or representative in Congress or an elector of president or vice president or hold any office, civil or military, under the United States. Yeah, we've read this before. Insurrection occurred on January 6th. It was obvious. It was done in public. There was no doubt about it. It was a plan by Donald Trump to remain as president past the end of his term, after losing the 2020 election. The question is, what did Merrick Garland do about it, and why did he do what he did about it? Strict policy guidelines are pretty clear here. Once the insurrection happened, it should have been prosecuted. Why wasn't a special prosecutor appointed in 2021? Because it wasn't required. Merrick Garland was a member of the administration, but until Donald Trump declared for a re-election in 2022, toward the end of the year, after 18 months of the Biden administration being in office, it wasn't a direct conflict of interest. For Merrick Garland, after that point, to prosecute Donald Trump directly for insurrection would have been a conflict of interest because he was a member of the administration. But what it also did, and Donald Trump knew this, was it slowed things down. The prosecution went at a very slow pace because the Justice Department is very slow in plotting, and the FBI does not act quickly in these type of investigations. And of course, Trump didn't trust the FBI and didn't cooperate with the FBI either. But basically, Donald Trump counted on Garland going slow because the Justice Department goes slow. By the time he declared for president, he knew there was not enough time to prosecute him and convict him because he had appointed almost 400 judges, and he got lucky with some of the judges' random assignment. And he was counting on that. He counted on the fact that the bureaucracy couldn't move fast enough to stop him. So he would have liked to declare for president again in 2021 and January 21st, except for the fact that would have basically admitted he'd lost. So basically, Donald Trump outfoxed Garland, Biden, and now Garland is facing criticism accusing him of being responsible for Trump 2.0. I guess you have to ask yourself, is that fair? Yes, Garland was outfoxed. Yes, Garland could have chosen to appoint a special prosecutor on January 21st or whenever he was actually confirmed for office based on the serious insurrection. And as you can tell from the report that's going to come out probably before January 20th, there was adequate evidence to prosecute Trump on January 21st, 2021. The Democratic Party decided that they wanted to just break with the past. They didn't consider the factor that Donald Trump could run for re-election and won. They thought that the January 6th behavior was enough to persuade the public never to vote for him again. They were dead wrong. So is the question, the next slide asks the question, are the charges against Garland fair? No, they are not fair. Yes, he was a factor in Trump 2.0. There is no doubt about that. But no, he is not the primary responsibility. The Democrats are looking for somebody to blame. They're looking for someone to point fingers, and that's just plain wrong. You're not going to learn anything by that. It's not going to help that Democrats have to investigate all factors as to why they lost the election. And this was a factor, but it was not the primary factor. And they're treating Merrick Garland unfairly. A man who himself was unfairly treated by the Mitch McConnell in the Republican Senate when he was nominated for the Supreme Court in 2016. Inflation and lack of communication strategy were a much bigger factor in Harris's election loss. The blame lies primarily with Biden and to a lesser extent with Kamala Harris. She's not getting blamed for decisions she made during the campaign. It was wrong for her to say that the economy was better. She did have a bit of a strategy to acknowledge inflation, acknowledge the economy was a problem, but she is the primary decision maker of the campaign, and she is not being granted enough responsibility for her loss. She was the head of the campaign from the minute that Biden endorsed her, and this is the second female Democrat in a row to run and lose after having the nomination process gamed to make it almost impossible for anybody else to win. Now, that's mostly Biden's fault, but the bottom line is Kamala Harris would have been better served by Biden declaring he was not running for president a year earlier and having the time to be tested by other Democratic candidates. The communication strategy and many other factors would have been better. If she runs in 2028, I hope that it's a competitive election. I hope nobody tries to limit the people that run against her. I think she is a strong candidate, and she can run and win again. But and she proved that her 2024 campaign was much better than her 2019 campaign that was for 2020. So, bottom line is she can win. Her speeches definitely touched a chord. They definitely connected with Americans, and given them more time, she could have won. But she took the nomination, she took the responsibility, and she lost. And she needs to understand that those that are behind her, like myself, want her to run another campaign, but want her to run a better campaign, less woke and more on point, and immediate response to a $200 million campaign that says lies about you. I mean, 500 times the governor of Pennsylvania says he saw commercials about the woke charges against Harris, which are basically false. Thank you for watching this video. Please join our team, become a podcaster, reach out to us in the comments. Thank you again for watching.